Hey team, meet Skimpies, the organic cotton undie made like a liner. Skimpies are for all of us who love going commando but can't quite pull it off like we used to. You just pop Skimpies directly into your pants, press firmly, and it's like you're wearing underwear without the gnarly panty lines. No PFAs, no synthetics, no irritation. Just clean, breathable, organic cotton where you need it most. Created by Bette Bentley, inspired by her own journey as an absolute babe who wanted to live that commando life, but without the UTIs. Go to skimpies.com to get started. Every peach deserves its day, and Skimpies is here to help make it happen. Skimpies, we just want to be in your pants. Hey team, and welcome. I'm your host, Carrie, creator of Mother Life, your destination for all things real talk and parenting. This is the IRL group chat, where we talk about the wild balancing act of pursuing careers and passions while also doing our best to show up for our kids. Join me every week as I sit down with some badass parents in my closet and we talk about their careers, kids, and relationships and all of the weird shit that comes up when you're trying to balance the seemingly impossible. Okay, we are continuing our look back into the archive with an episode from a year ago. A discussion that started on the pod, reconnecting with someone I've always looked up to as a kid, and the conversation hasn't really stopped yet. Something very strange has happened in the last month or so. Long before I knew my stepdad was sick, I planned to roll out some of these archival episodes. The first was Tracy Aftergood, which you all heard a few weeks ago. It's an episode that in part was made so popular by how vulnerable she was talking about the sudden loss of her mom in her 20s. Now this week, planned over a month ago, we have Lisa Weinbaum's episode. One I initially picked to replay because it's been such a topic of conversation among my friends ever since it aired. From her 3 simple rules to the way that she openly and honestly answers questions about how she and her husband sort of navigate the different dynamics of having a stay-at-home parent and a parent who works outside of the house. It was just like a 10 out of 10 episode from the get. But now, a little over a week after the passing of my stepdad, this episode takes on a new meaning for me because Lisa also talks about losing her beloved father, a pillar in her life, and how she's still trying to figure out how to navigate that grief. So in a way, we have a new thing to connect on, to explore together, to support each other on. And while I wish that kind of connection on no one, it's just another example in real time of how friendships evolve and how they take on new layers of importance and meaning, and how sharing scar tissue can actually strengthen connection. It's an invitation and an opportunity to let more love in, and I am really grateful for that. Instead of just replaying the full episode, I've tried to edit together some of the highlights, since this one's slightly newer, but I will put the full original episode in the show notes. Here at Mother Life, we hear a lot about different careers, but this one takes the cake for harshest conditions. No days off, no sick days, 24/7 on duty, no performance management system or scope for a bonus, shitty base pay, and your only mode of feedback are somewhat unreliable coworkers. For the right candidate, the role somehow has considerable upside. Welcome to the first stay-at-home parent episode. The reasons why people become a stay-at-home parent varies widely. For some, it's a dream job they always hoped they'd have. For others, it's something that sort of just happened to them due to the economics of low-paying jobs and the high cost of childcare, or challenges re-entering the workforce after having children. However they got here, about a third of American families with children have a stay-at-home parent. That means a legitimately significant amount of the American workforce that has children is not paid for their labor, and also they're working their asses off every day, just like the rest of us. Stay-at-home parents are as varied as everyone else in the workforce. How they approach their jobs, what they think success looks like, how long they'd like to stay in their current position before moving on to something new. Lisa Weinbaum is the perfect person to have this discussion with. In addition to being my camp counselor when I was 13, legendary, Lisa has 3 kids. Lisa may be classified as a stay-at-home parent, but there is very little staying at home involved, you'll soon hear. When she's not with her family, she's volunteering at Baby to Baby, an organization that is providing children living in poverty with the basic necessities that so many of us take for granted. When I knew I wanted to do my first stay-at-home parent episode, I knew there was only one person I wanted to sit down with. First, we're going to dive into the job description. What does it look like and how did it come about? I feel like with every stay-at-home parent I know, their origin story is completely different. The ones who seem to be most successful, if we define success as contented, are the ones who made a proactive choice for themselves and their families to be a stay-at-home parent. And the rules and responsibilities between them and their partner are very clear. What are the working hours of a stay-at-home mom? Is it 24/7?
Yes.
How does all of that work?
I mean, yes, it is. So there's always been like an envy of me, the people that go to work, right? And you leave the office, and a lot of people bring their work home with them now.
Yeah.
But you leave the office and the work stays there.
Yeah.
And when your sole job is being a mom,
Yeah.
you can't just leave. I mean, you can maybe leave for a night, but like their kids are still there and you're still worried about what's happening. And no, there's not a time you walk away. So it's a daunting thing, but I mean, yeah, there's definitely days I'm like, I actually, last week I looked at Adam and I was like, I need 24 hours in a hotel by myself.
Yeah.
I was overwhelmed. I was like, 24 hours just by myself. That's all I need. Well, think all day. Like,
yeah.
Like that old, like eating bonbons and like watching a soap opera. Like I've never had that. So as this being my sole job, right? Like I take so much of it like personally, like I need to mold these children.
Yeah.
Yes, Adam is my partner. We mold them together, but because he has another job, I do feel like this is my job.
This is your performance management framework, right. Is whether or not your kids are shitty.
Actually no review.
Yeah.
There is no end of the year report. There's nobody giving me feedback.
No grades. I mean,
there's no raises. There's no there's nothing that tells me how I'm doing.
Yeah.
Other than day to day how my kids are behaving.
Yeah.
Right? Like I can see Alex's future. She's going to be fine. And then I can look back many years from now and be like, okay, hopefully my kids are all fine. I must have done okay. But day to day now.
Yeah.
So if my kids are being assholes or shitheads, and like I will say something like that to them, you're not an ass. So like, why are you acting like it? Like you have to always make sure like they don't ever think
that you're calling them a name. Yeah. You're a good kid, but you're,
right.
you know.
But you're not acting like it right now. Like get your shit together.
Yeah.
And I say that a lot. I'm like, get your shit together. I do probably use that phrase more than I probably should. But
we'll get you a bumper sticker.
But it's really hard at the end of a day where they are being assholes because it is human.
Was there ever a discussion with you and your husband about like roles and responsibilities? Has there ever been a feeling of how is he looking at me that I'm working from home?
No, but I'll tell you why.
Why?
When we first moved to LA, it was because he went to business school. Real estate market crashed in Miami. That was in 2008. So he's like, we got to get out of here. We had a toddler. He applied to grad school. We came out to go to USC. So now we're out here with a child and no money. He's like, you got to find something to do. So I found a job for teaching Hebrew school on Craigslist.
Great.
So I started working on Tuesday and Thursday afternoon.
Craigslist, the recruiter of choice.
Yep. And at the time, it wasn't like scary.
Yeah.
I worked Tuesday and Thursdays. And then we ended up getting a babysitter Tuesdays and Thursdays. But Sunday mornings when I would go, he was always home with the kids. And so then I had Sydney while he was still in school. So then I had a newborn and a toddler, and I was still going to work on Sunday mornings, and he was home with them. So I don't think he's ever thought that you sit home and do nothing.
Right.
Because he, from day one, was doing that at least every Sunday.
And and by the way, I'm peppering in questions from our listeners as we go, but did you ever feel like there was a dynamic about money? Because he's making the money. Often it is women spending the money.
Yes.
Was there ever any like stress or tension about that? Did he ever feel, do you think, like stressed about being the sole provider?
I think it's come in phases sometimes. There were like those early moments I was working. He was on student loans and I was working a little bit, right? Like,
yeah.
But again, my background is education. So for me to go back to work doesn't seem to make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So we had decided I wasn't going to work full time. We felt very strongly that I was going to raise the kids how we wanted them raised. As the kids got older, you have phone calls, car rides, the conversations. Like I need to be present. I don't want somebody else answering those questions.
Yeah.
Like we want to raise them how we want to raise them.
Yeah.
Without the influence of somebody else. So it was never going to be work full time. But there were moments that he's like, as the kids are all in school now, as you are home and they're not home with you all the time, you need to do something.
Mm.
And then...
And did that come from a financial place or
I think it came from financial place.
Yeah.
And then he finally realized, he's like, I like my lifestyle. I like that I come home and the fridge is filled with food and my laundry is clean and the house is clean and the kids are all taken care of.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't have to worry about any of it.
Yeah.
But if all of a sudden you're working a little bit even and you're not contributing financially to the success of the house, but like all of my stuff now goes away, I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah.
So he's like, so unless you're going to make more than me, I like what we have.
But I think that that's actually something a lot of people take for granted. Like all of those things that he was able to enumerate and say, this is the value add. I mean, I think the latest statistic is like the value salary-wise of a stay-at-home parent is something like $180,000 a year if you were to monetize all of the tasks done, the hours put in, etc. He's seeing the value, it sounds like, and he is acknowledging what that trade-off is, and he's happy to make it. Now what you're about to hear is what I have come to affectionately call Lisa's 3 rules, and I think about them all of the time. Keep them safe, teach them right from wrong, prepare them for life. Whenever I'm spiraling about something, a behavior, a schedule, a phase, I'll literally stop and ask myself, does this fit into one of these 3 buckets? And if my kid is giving me a hard time, it's a really easy framing for me to stop and explain why I have to hold a boundary. I'm keeping you safe. I'm teaching you right from wrong. I'm preparing you for the world. And if what they're mad about or what I'm upset about doesn't fit into one of those 3 buckets, I can let it go. It doesn't mean parenting gets easier, but it does mean it gets clearer. And clarity is something I've learned to value more and more. What do you think your job is for your kids? Can you walk us through those? Because I now tell the Lisa's Guide to Parenting to myself when I'm like, does X, Y, and Z actually matter in this moment?
So there's 3 things. And one of my kids at some point told me that this was going to be my tombstone, like the 3 things. Because we've told our kids these 3 things from the time they were toddlers on, and it really fits everything. So again, my philosophy about parenting is I need to be their parent, not their friend. Like they have plenty of friends, but they need to be turned into like good humans. So everything I ask them or tell them to do is for one of 3 reasons, and it's to keep them safe, teach them right from wrong, and to prepare them for life. So if I, as a toddler, be like, you can't cross the street right now, and they're going to be like, why not? You know, like, you're so mean. I'm like, no, it's safety, right? Like, it's to keep you safe. And usually I feel like toddler is the keeping you safe.
Yes.
Right? And as I get older, there's a teaching right from wrong. Like, you can't do this because that's not right. Like, you can't talk to somebody that way because it's not right.
Yeah.
And to prepare you for life. And that's mainly like where we're at now with my kids are older. So I feel like that's like the main one I use, where I guess earlier on it was the safety. I mean, now there's a lot of safety things too. Like, you're going to drink, you cannot drive. And I don't.
Yeah.
But like, those are kind of, they get that now. But like the preparing you for life. Like, my kids are a mess. The girls are a mess. And we keep saying to Alex, like, you're going to have a roommate next year. Like, we need to help prepare you for life. Like, you cannot keep your room like this. And right now, the biggest thing I was working with them on this past week is simple hellos and goodbyes. Like, my house is set up so the kids' rooms, like the girls' rooms, are on the bottom floor. You enter the house on the downstairs. We're in these like tall and skinnies is what they're called. So you walk in the garage. We usually come in the garage or the front door. The bottom floor is the girls' room. Upstairs is the main living area and our bedroom. Then Casey's floor is up above that. So often teenage girls will come in and just go straight to their rooms.
Right.
Right? They don't have to come upstairs unless they want a snack or they need to go to the kitchen. So I came home the other day. I didn't even know somebody was home. Nobody said hi to me. I said hi. They were like AirPods in or whatever. So the thing now is, like, if you come in or out of a house, you better say hello and goodbye. And when somebody else comes in or out of the house, you have to say hello or goodbye to them. Because at some point, you're going to be in an office.
Yeah.
You're going to be at your desk or you're going to be working. Someone's going to walk in. You're going to be like, hey, morning. And when they leave, you're like, hey, have a good day. Like, polite.
Be a person.
Be a human that respects other people, right? Like, this is preparing you for life.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make this a big deal now. Not because it's going to keep you safe, right? That doesn't fit here.
Yeah.
Teaching right from wrong, I mean, it could. But it's to prepare you for life. Like, these are things that you need to make a habit.
Kids are not perfect people. Nobody's a perfect person. When you see your kid being a shit, because all kids will be shits. All kids will make the wrong choice. All kids will do something would be like, those aren't our values. You're not living up to the values that like, quite frankly, what you just did, a good person wouldn't do, or whatever it is. How do you
saying I say now is I've taught you the right from wrong. Now you have to act and like show me the right.
Do you feel like you have more brain space to think about some of this stuff because this is your profession?
I sometimes, yes. So sometimes, like I said, when you are making a decision, you're in the middle of it, you're like, you think you're doing the right thing, right?
Yeah.
And then sometimes you're like, I don't know the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll take that and I'll go into like teacher mode.
Yeah.
And be like, what would I do if this was a student?
Yeah.
Like if this wasn't my child, what would I do? So I can come up with a solution. And then sometimes I still don't know what I'm doing, but I have a therapist now, so then she helps me.
God bless therapy. As many of you know, I've just experienced a profound loss. So I'm also re-listening to past conversations where someone has also lost a parent. Something that unfortunately Lisa and I now have in common. What I appreciated so much here is hearing some of my own feelings reflected back to me by someone I so deeply respect, by someone I view to really have her shit together. In the last few weeks, I've struggled to focus. It's honestly a miracle these episodes are coming out at all. And honestly, sometimes it just makes you feel less alone when you hear someone else also having a bad time. It's kind of like when you see someone else's kid having an absolute meltdown, it makes you feel like you might still be doing everything right and kids just have meltdowns. Similarly, when you see someone else struggling and you yourself have struggled or are struggling, I don't know, it just makes me feel like it's all going to be fine in the end.
Some days it's just, and we're all a mess.
Yeah.
And I am still also not like grieving completely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a process for everybody, but so there's days that I'm on edge. So I will end the day really upset because I'm like, I failed at my only job I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like Adam is upset with me because I said whatever I said to him that wasn't right. Like my job is to be a wife and a mom. Like I can't even get the laundry done. Like the house has no food.
Yeah.
It's a shit show in here. The kids are a mess. I'm like, this is my job. And I'm failing at my job. Therefore, I am like a failure as a person because I don't have anything else to measure it to.
Yeah.
So it's not like I can like go to sleep, wake up, and like
and
try
how
to
do
get the
you
work done the next day.
and how do you? Because obviously that's not true. You're not a failure.
It's not true.
It's not
Some
true.
days it feels to be true.
So how do you get yourself out of that funk?
I mean, I don't know. I probably.
Or do you just say tomorrow's a new day, start over?
So I actually, now that you say that, I forget that I used to tell my kids that's why we have tomorrows. It gives us a chance to have a better day. Like today ended. Like let's be done with today.
Yeah.
So when they were young and like that's how we would end the night. Like today was bad.
Yeah.
Right? Like let's go to sleep. Let's end today. And that's why we have tomorrows. And I think I need to go back into reminding myself of that.
And lastly, summer camp. I've often waxed poetic about how much I love sleepaway summer camp and the experience and how formative it was for me. This conversation, however, was the first time I thought about it truly from the lens of being a parent. How it's not just a magical month or two of frolicking parent-free, but it's actually a really valuable practice for parents and kids to test out and drive home all of the hard work they do year-round to grow independent kids who know how to act in the world without constantly being helicoptered. Honestly, the only thing that I'm really devastated we haven't talked more about, which like we could probably do an entire other episode, is summer camp and the importance and value of sleepaway camp.
Independence. That's just the key word right there. Independence. Kids
What
need to know
age
they
do
can
you
do
think
it.
is like a good age? Because obviously summer camp kids know how important and valuable summer camp is. It's not right for all kids. I appreciate that. Like me and my siblings all have different feelings about it. But for me, it was such an integral part of me deciding who I was as a person independent of my family. And my husband went to boarding school and he hated it and couldn't fathom sending our kids somewhere. And I'm like, no. This isn't fucking boarding school. This is like running through the fields without like a real grown up in sight.
I mean, there's people keeping you safe, right?
Yeah.
Everybody started when they needed to start.
Interesting. Yeah.
Like, Casey is very independent. He's a third kid.
Yeah.
And he loves to do things on his own. He likes to walk up to somebody and like, if you're at a store and you know where the bathroom is, he's like, I'll go ask. Like he loves being that kid that like walks up and like asks for things.
I love it.
But he was at 7 years old. They have like a rookie camp now. So last time it was a week.
Oh, nice.
So that was a really good, and he did not want to leave after that week though.
Was it hard for you to send the babies off?
Not at all.
You're just like, bye.
I'm really confident in my relationship with my children. I love my children, and I know they love me, and we are good when we are together, and we all need time apart.
Love that.
Like, they need to be away from me. Like, they need somebody not telling them what to do all the time. Like, they need that as much as it's nice for us not to be telling them what to do all the time. Like, everybody needs that. And
summer camp.
Like, for these kids, especially the ones that some parents are like, oh, my kid could never be away from me. You and that kid both are the ones that need the time away.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if you are so codependent on each other that you can't even fathom any time apart.
Yeah.
Like, it's really important to see that you will both be okay at the end of that. And if you're not, then they call you and they're like, hey, this kid's not okay here.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, didn't work.
Thanks for coming down memory lane with me. Sometimes re-listening to these episodes is kind of like, I don't know, hanging out with an old friend in a way. And I'm really glad I was able to do it with you. As we continue to evolve the format, like write to me, DMs on Instagram, comments on the Substack, wherever. I want to hear what these archival episodes are doing, if anything, for you. For me, they've been good reminders about some of my favorite lessons. You know, every day as I develop and grow as a parent, the same conversations bring new meaning, bring new light. One of the things that I have been thinking about lately is, as a youngest child, of course, we always think about birth order, that sometimes as a kid, or even as an adult, I wanted my older siblings to just like let me be in charge and let me show that I could be a grown-up. And similarly, sometimes when I would hang out with friends who were older and had experience and they would share their experiences with me or take the lead on something, I wanted to also show that I was competent. And of course I'm competent. But I think what I've realized in starting to navigate this loss and move through new chapters in my parenting and in my adulthood, that there is a comfort in letting somebody who's been there before take the wheel for a minute. They're not doing it to be bossy or to show me that they know best, but genuinely they're trying to ease my load and help me in the best way they know how. So with each of these conversations, particularly the ones where somebody has already passed a milestone or experienced something that I'm experiencing now or I've yet to experience, I'm finding myself listening with keener ears than maybe ever before, and I'm so grateful for that. Thank you for hanging out. I'm so happy you're here. Tune in next week for a new episode with a new guest, and have a great rest of the week. Team, I need your help. If you love it here, please like and leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. Subscribe to the Substack for full access to this episode's show notes and join the discussion. And of course, follow me on Instagram at mutha, mutha.life for a daily look at all things mother. Thanks for listening. Be sure to tune in next week for another Chat in the Closet. This podcast was produced by Mother Life, music by Ronan Landa. See you next time.